I want to inspire you today with the story of how I lost 70 pounds, reached my target weight and beat my type 2 diabetes on a keto and fasting lifestyle. Welcome to the Liz and Skatz channel. Hi, I'm Skatz. I'm a musician and music therapist, and together with my wonderful holistic therapist wife Liz, we are helping you to live a more healthy lifestyle. The first thing to do to help us help you is this. Subscribe, and click on the bell. Hello Keto Bonitos and fabulous fasting friends. Today's little box of happiness from us to you is full of inspiration. It's about time I told you my story, because I think that if I can achieve what I've done this year with everything that's gone on and all my past history of food abuse and the reasons for it, then you can too. So here are a few home truths about little old me. I was a shy little boy. You might not think it now, but I was. Were you shy too? I wasn't very good in social situations at all. You could say I was socially inept. I had very little self-confidence. When I was about 3 or 4 years old, I fell into a glass-fronted cabinet and I cut my face open. I don't know if you can see this scar here. It came very close to my jugular vein. That much more, and I might not have been here today. Now, the trauma of that accident, and probably more importantly the scar that it left, well, that played a huge part in my childhood. Children can be really quite cruel with their words when you're disfigured, and so can girls when you're a teenager with a prominent scar. As you can see, I grew a beard eventually, but you can't do that when you're a boy. We all have different scars, don't we? What are your scars? Now, some might say that I should have toughened up and taken it on the chin, ironically. But, well, you see, I was missing something in my confidence. There are other things in my childhood that had affected me, other scars that you can't see. My dad wasn't really one to show his emotions except when he was angry or disapproved of something that I did, and my parents split up when I was young too. My dad got custody of me and my older brother, so I wasn't set a very good example of how to deal with my emotions, so I bottled them up. I built a wall around me. I hid behind, music, performance and pretense, and I hid behind food. It was one of the few things that I wasn't starved of, ironically. One of the very few times that my immediate family would praise me was in my ability to eat well. Always a very good eater, that's what they'd say. I was dubbed the human dustbin because, well, I would eat seconds, I would eat what was left. I'd always be the one who would finish off the food. Yeah, give it to Andrew, he'll eat it all up. That's my birth name, by the way. Skatz is just a nickname that came later on, and it stuck so well that, well, everyone uses it now. And maybe I encouraged it a little bit because Andrew was the name of the shy, scared little boy that I didn't want anybody to meet. Anyway, skip forward a few years and I went through a failed marriage, a failed business, 3 or 4 years of drug abuse and 2 years at least of depression and lots of attempts to lose weight, which always ended up with me yo-yoing up and down and ended up putting on more than I'd lost eventually. Because, well, food was my crutch. Does that sound familiar to any of you? I would eat to celebrate. I would eat when I felt good, I would eat when I felt depressed, and the foods that I loved the most, of course, were the ones which were either full of sugar or full of what breaks down into sugars when you eat them. I was a carb addict, without the self-confidence to think that I could beat it. Let's face it, I didn't really know that I was an addict. Does that sound familiar? Let's skip forward to about 2 years ago to cut a long story short, and that routine blood test that told me that I was tipping over into diabetes. I tried harder and harder to lose weight and manage the diabetes by eating less carbs. But again, I ended up putting it back on, and usually when the nights were drawing in, and seasonal affective disorder would pull me down, and then the plentiful carbs of Christmas came around, and well, I was lost again. And then, just what we all needed, 2020 happened, and my dad died, and all of the confusing thoughts of what I was missing from my upbringing and what I thought of him came crashing back into my head. And meanwhile, COVID was happening, and we all became isolated, and Liz and I lost all of our work with no hope of employment for the foreseeable future, and that just got worse and worse as time went on. And at the same time, I had more blood tests which told me I needed medication for my diabetes, and the drug I was given gave me awful side effects, and I was just in despair. Fortunately, for the past 15 years, I've had Liz by my side, and if it wasn't for her support, well, I wouldn't have even begun to heal the scars. I wouldn't have had the depth of research that she's so good at, or the depth of love that she's shown all of this time. All of which put us both on the road to this keto and fasting lifestyle, which has proved to be so effective and has not only changed us physically. I mean, we've lost 110 pounds at least between us, 70 of which I've lost, plus my diabetes is beaten. But mentally too, and it's now changing our working lives. All of those varying skills and qualities that we've used in separate self-employed businesses, they've now come together in this really exciting channel, and we're helping you to better health. We may still be stuck in the middle of a pandemic. We may be heading for difficult financial years, and of us building up subscribers before we can even begin to earn any money from this. And I won't even mention Brexit, but we are going to help you. And I really hope that my story has given you the impetus to keep on going through whatever your life throws at you. Thank you so much for listening to the whole story. It really does mean a lot to both of us. Leave us a comment in the comments below, and of course subscribe and click on the bell, ding, and check out our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Liz Skatz channel to see how you can be a producer of our videos. Don't forget, we're live on Wednesday evenings with the live stream. Put it in your diary. Peace and love, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.